old fat. Help me by getting on your feet and bringing to the stage Mr. Eric Worre. Not obliged.
Hey, Vito. How you doing? Wow. I'm so excited to see everybody. You guys having a great conference so far? I'll tell you what. I got to start by saying I'm really impressed with your company. And here's why. Not every company in the world has the guts to reinvent itself and move forward into the new future. Not every company has the ability to do that. I've been an opportunity guy in my life. I've been a product guy in my life. And there's a magical blend between the two. And I know the shift that you're going through. Some of you are trying to figure it out. Some of you have it figured out. But I will tell you, this shift is, I think, one of the most important of your lifetime. You are positioned with a great history to reinvent the future. So I'm excited for you. It's exciting. And let me tell you why. I'm going to give you another company as an example. The first company I ever was involved with was a company called NSA, National Safety Associates. They had water filters. It cost $5,000 to join. You had to do $5,000 in new business every single month in order to qualify to get your check. Wow. Do you think it was product driven or opportunity driven? Opportunity. It was huge. Everybody all over the world was pushing. Huge volume. The company went and exploded up to about $800 million in sales back in the late 80s. Huge. And then they hit resistance. They hit challenge. Their product started to be compared with other products that were available other places in the marketplace, etc. And they made the transition. Hear me. They made the transition. Guess where they transitioned? To fruits and vegetables. They started with fruits and vegetables in a pill, and then they moved to fruits and vegetables in a little gummy bear. And all of these opportunity-driven people, some of them didn't know what to think. How do we transition to this little mom and pop, people making an extra $300, $500, $1,000 a month when we've been in this huge opportunity phase? And what happened was, first of all, the leader of the company had a vision, and he incorporated the people that were in the field into that vision, and they started. And it took enormous courage, just like it's taking courage for you to take this to the next evolution, reinvent yourselves. But today they have well over 1 million people on a monthly auto ship around the world. Imagine this. 1 million raving fans that don't even care if they get a commission. They just love the product. So don't ever say, just a customer, no big deal. Customer's a big deal. In the new world, it's a big deal. I'm telling you. So fast forward, just understand this. As you move forward into your different markets around the world, and as you grow your business from this foundation, I want you to imagine something. I want you to imagine 10,000 raving fans on your team using the product, whether or not they get a check. And then 20,000, and then 50,000, and then 100,000 on your team using the product every single month and telling other people about it. A percentage of those are going to build a business. A percentage of those are just going to use the product. But that stability, that strength, that predictability, the fact that you can lay a ruler on your growth curve. You don't have to worry about momentum and ups and downs. You're building on a solid foundation. Imagine having just an auto ship foundation of approaching $1 billion a year just on auto ship alone, whether or not new people join. That is security. That is predictability. That is real residual. So, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for where you're going, and I'm excited for this room. Here's the thing. I wish I had a camera to take a picture of this room, because here's what I will tell you. Here's what I will tell you. This picture will go into the Hall of Fame of this company, because as you look forward, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, they'll take the picture of this room and see that person. See that person? They just got started the month of that convention. And now they're making $1 million a year. See that person? That person over there, nobody thought they were ever going to do anything because they hadn't done anything in the company history. But that weekend they made a decision. And that person is the #1 person in that country. See what I'm saying? It's going to be all over the place. See that person, they're 22 years old. They didn't know what they were going to do. They just knew that they didn't want to do what their parents did. They wanted to do something different. And they reinvented their whole lives, and they changed their whole family history because of the decision they made that weekend. See what I mean? There's going to be 2 groups 5 years from today that look at that picture. One group is going to be the group that says, I'm glad I made the decision because it was worth it. And there's another group that's going to look at that picture and says, I was there. And I didn't take action. I was there, and I let the little worries get in the way. I was there. Can't believe it, I was there. So you got some decisions to make this weekend, right? I remember the first day I was introduced to network marketing. Understand, I was 22 years old at the time. For any of you young kids out there. 22 years old, and I had 18 jobs up to age 22. For real. No joke. I barely escaped high school. We had to do some negotiating to get me out. I think that the school system said, well, do we want him back? Let him go. Let him be somebody else's problem. I did everything you can do in a restaurant, everything you can do. I did all the minimum wage jobs you can think of. Last job I had prior to network marketing is I sold real estate. The only reason I sold real estate is because my father and his partner owned a little real estate office, and they needed somebody to get a license so they could show the properties that they owned. I'm sitting at home doing nothing. Eric, go get your license. Okay, got it. So first year selling real estate, I made $45,000. Pretty good, right? 1988, big problem, I spent 60. True story, because I always had another closing that was going to come, and pretty soon some other money was going to get here. I was borrowing money like crazy, and I didn't save any money for taxes. It's the first time I had 1099 money. They give me money, I'm supposed to spend the money. I didn't know you're supposed to give something back to the government. It's somebody else's job, I thought. Not true. So this is January, and my dad's partner, John Joyce, dear friend of mine, he comes to me and he says, hey, Eric, what are you doing for lunch? I said, nothing. He said, well, we're going to go over to my friend Charlie's house. He's going to, there's an opportunity. Maybe we can make some extra money. I'm interested in extra money. I need money like oxygen. Cool, I'm in. So we drive over to Charlie's house. Charlie's a successful guy. John is a successful guy. My dad is successful working with John. And we go into Charlie's house, and they put in a VHS cassette, which had been duped over like 50 times. And it was this opportunity video for NSA. And I thought it was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever seen in my life. It was so over the top, unrealistic. People made $50,000 in 50 minutes, and limousines and airplanes and mansions, and it was just like, I'm like, really? So with my infinite wisdom, I said, like Shark Tank guys, gentlemen, I'm out. And they said something that was really good. They just said, Eric, that's fine. You can wait in the car. We're going to do it anyway. It's a problem. Successful guys are going to do it. What if they succeed? That would just be painful every single day. I'd have to look at it and watch it every single day. And I said, no. So I pulled my dad aside and said, Dad, hey, I got some money coming in later. Could you maybe loan me a few dollars so I could get started? I guess I'll do it too. And he said, okay. So we signed up. And John Joyce gave me one of the first gifts I ever got in my network marketing career, my dad's partner. We're walking out of the house. First lesson for you today. We're walking out of the house, and I'm about 20 paces in front. And John is walking out with Charlie out of the house. And I hear John say to Charlie, and I really appreciated John. He was a mentor of mine. He says to Charlie, he says, see that kid? That kid's going to do more than all of us combined. Wow. That kid's a natural. That kid's going all the way to the top. I heard it. Even though I didn't believe it myself, I went, what if he's right? So it gave me a little bit of belief in myself. And that's something for your notes. If you're taking notes, you have an enormous gift sometime this weekend to look somebody in the eye and say, you've got greatness inside of you. You've got talents inside of you that you haven't even touched yet. You've got the ability to go all the way to the top. You have the ability to reinvent yourself. You can shock the world. Look at somebody in the eye and tell them that. Give them that gift. That gift that was given to me, guess what? For the next 90 days when I wanted to quit, guess what I didn't do? I didn't quit because I didn't want to let John down. I didn't want his opinion of me to be wrong. So I didn't quit. So I got off to a pretty good start. Here was my whole strategy when I started. Got it? I'm a minimum wage guy. Everyone knows I'm a minimum wage guy. I had 18 jobs. Everyone knows I had 18 jobs. Okay? No college experience, barely escaped high school. I am nobody's prize. I'm not on the top of anybody's prospect list. I go and talk to my broke friends. And my broke friends can't afford to get to the weekend, let alone sign up in something. I'm prospecting them and they're asking me for money. This isn't going to work. So you know what I did? I went in my mom and dad's house and I took their address book. For real. And I quickly called all of my dad's contacts before he had a chance to call them. Because I knew him too. And I said, hey, there's this great opportunity. And John Joyce and my dad are involved. And I can set up a call and connect you guys. So I basically signed up some of my dad's friends. Plus a few of my own. And I got started. And I got a pretty good check. But do you think that strategy probably dried up pretty quick? Dried up pretty quick. So I made money the first month. Second month, I made some money. Third month, my income went practically to zero. And I was ready to quit. I got that third month's check and I said, this is stupid, this is dumb. I'm out of here. I quit. I go home. Big problem. I have no place else to go. I have no place to go. I'd walked away from real estate when I got that first check. I'd walked away. I had no way to make any money this month. None. Who's going to hire me? with my pedigree? Nobody. So the only place I could go to survive was back to the thing that I was mad at, which was network marketing. I was blaming everybody. The company won't give me any training. Doggone it. They say the product sells itself. Bunch of liars. Does not either. My upline won't help me. My downline's a bunch of losers. Crossline people won't help. They hide all the good ideas. It's the economy. Nobody will listen to me because I'm 23 now. 23. If I was 33, I'd crush this. But since I'm 23, I guess I just have to wait. So I was blaming everything. I'm in Minneapolis. Who wants to do anything? It's too cold. You can't do anything. If only I lived in Brazil. It'd be unbelievable. I'd kill it if I lived in Brazil. I was blaming everybody. But here's the great thing. Have you ever heard the Garth Brooks song, "Some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers"? Here's the thing. I would tell you, if someone showed up that day and said, "Young man, I'm going to give you a job, $50,000 a year for life. You never get a raise, but you never get fired. And you just do what I tell you for the rest of your life," I'd have taken it. I'd have taken it. But God, in His infinite wisdom, protected me from that offer. Telling you. And He sent me back where I needed to go, which was to deal with myself, was to deal with my issues, because it wasn't the company, and it wasn't the compensation plan, and it wasn't the product, and it wasn't the support, and it wasn't the training. All of that was equal. It was the same for everybody. Guess what it was? It was me. And my limiting beliefs and my bad programming. I believe all of us between our ears are a computer. And the software in here is the only thing limiting us from our full potential. And back then I had viruses in my software. Virus number one is I was a professional blamer. Nothing was ever my fault or my responsibility. It was somebody else. It was the upline, the company, the training, the support, whatever. It was never me. I was good at convincing other people it wasn't my fault. That works in high school. Doesn't work in the real world. Nobody cares. Congratulations, it's not your fault. Now what? It's hard to take responsibility. It's hard to say, it's on me. It's hard to say, I'm afraid. It's hard to say, I'm trying to figure out how to motivate myself to take action when I'm afraid of what the result's going to be. It's hard to take responsibility and say, it really matters what other people think of me. It's hard. But here's what I learned about blame. The moment you blame, you walk out of your ability to live the life that you deserve. The moment that you do it. Because you don't control anything anymore. It's all external forces. Some of you think that because you're here in the right place at the right time, that's enough. It's not. You are in the right place at the right time. But guess what you're going to have to do? When it's lonely, when next Wednesday the glow has faded from this weekend, and you're by yourself, and you're looking at your phone and saying, what am I prepared to do today? That is when you're really going to be tested. Not when you're high-fiving each other, isn't this great, isn't this great? When you're talking to a prospect that has no clue about what network marketing is, and you're trying to rescue them from a desperate life. That's when you're going to be tested. Not this weekend. This weekend you're going to be supported. Outside of this, our business, guess what? It's a lonely business. You succeed by taking action that other people are not willing to take. You succeed by doing things other people are not willing to do. By going places and facing your fears, and make no mistake, we are in the fear management business, folks. Our job is to drive our fears into as small a corner as possible and increase our understanding, increase our skills so we increase our confidence and we have the ability to communicate with more people. That's what it is that we do. Okay? So I decided to start to take responsibility. Not for what happened to me, but for how I reacted to it. The meetings were terrible in my local town. Well, guess what I needed to do? Fix them or start my own. There was no good training. Well, guess what I needed to do? Make sure there was good training. There was no good communication. Well, guess what I needed to do? Make sure there was good communication. There was no product culture in my organization. Guess what I needed to do? Build it from myself forward and not blame anybody else for anything. So that was number one. Number two, big virus, is I would rather get away with something than earn it. This one's embarrassing to talk about, but I really would. I didn't want to earn. I wanted a deal. I wanted a bargain. I wanted a shortcut. Tell me we're in momentum here in this company, because then I don't have to work that hard. Because if I just show up, then we can ride the wave of momentum. Please tell me it's momentum that's going to be the answer for me. Let me tell you the truth about momentum. Momentum is a 9 to 12 month phenomenon inside of any company. 9 to 12 months when everything you touch turns to gold. Everybody joins, everybody buys, everybody's in, everybody's rank advancing. It's magical, it's mysterious, it's wonderful, but it's not permanent. It's an illusion. Your company's had momentum before, and it wasn't something that they did that created the momentum to go the other way. Momentum is just cyclical. I believe you guys are going into momentum. What I will tell you, when you go into momentum, that's the time not to sleep. Because there's fortunes made in momentum. But let me tell you this. On the other side of momentum is stability, correction, correction again, growth again. It's called work, folks. There's this, and then there's work, this, and then there's work. There's no straight lines. There just isn't. And what I will tell you is there are some people inside of the network marketing profession have bought into this story that you can only work with a company that has momentum, and if you don't, you're missing out. Stupidity, in my opinion. I'm just telling you. And I'll have the Pepsi Challenge debate with them anytime, because here's what they do. They lose the juice of the business. They lose the juice of the relationships and the stability and the passive and the residual and all the great that happens in our business, because they go, oh, look, a shiny penny, something with momentum. They jump in. That company's been in momentum maybe 6 months. They've got 3 left. And then they're in that company and they go, and then when that ride ends and they go, well, this isn't why I came over here. I thought this was going to be different. And it only went for three months, and they go find another company. They jump into that one. That one maybe has 4 left. 4 months left out of their 9 to 12 months. By the time they get there, they end up bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. And here's what I'm going to tell you. You're going to have challenges in your business. You're going to have challenges in any company, in any business. Pick the company you want to have your challenges with and go to work. I'm just telling you. If you believe in the leadership, if you believe in the products, if you believe in the vision, put your running shoes on and go to work. And here's what I will tell you. I used to look for systems because I thought the system was going to give me the shortcut, or the magical recruiting backflip program that was going to do something. You know, the program where if I get you one and then you get you one and then you give the one to the next person and the next person gives you one to the next person. Have you ever seen these little mathematical things? I used to fall in love with these things. It's unbelievable. You'd name them. You'd come up with a name for the system. It's awesome. This is not the answer. But it was exciting. I think I found it. I found the shortcut. This is what's going to take us all the way to the top. Don't tell anybody. It's going to be amazing. So I changed my philosophy about trying to get away with things, looking for shortcuts, looking for answers, looking for systems, looking for magical momentum, looking for the whale. Oh, if I could just bring in superstar from some other company, they come over, that leg is cooked. Right? Forget these minnows. I'm going whale hunting. Dialing for dollars, baby. So that brings its whole set of distractions. Give me a dissatisfied homemaker over a whale any day of the week. I'm telling you. You'll get better results. You will. Give it enough time, you'll get better results. So I let go of trying to get lucky and get away with something, and I just decided to be good. I just decided, you know what? I'm going to work on my skills and get them so good that I am a human ATM machine. I can just create organizations, value, wherever I go. You can drop me into any country in the world with a parachute, a few product brochures and some product, and I'll quickly have an organization because my skills will be so good. It won't be about timing, positioning, or systems or programs. The skills are the thing. So once I learned, I made that switch, I stopped looking for shortcuts and I started trying to be good. That really helped. Third virus I had in my brain was I wanted you to pay me first and then I'd work harder. Pay me first, then I'll have a better attitude. Pay me a little bit more, I'll show up early. That's what I wanted. And I found out that life doesn't work that way. Guess what you have to do? You have to be ridiculously underpaid for a while. Wildly, crazy, underpaid. You cannot justify it to your negative family. They will not understand ever. They tell you, how many dollars an hour are you making? None. I'm making none. But when it switches, I'm building a foundation that you can't see right now. It's all underground. I'm building pillars into the granite you cannot see. But once the foundation is laid and my skills are in place, the building will go up quickly. And that's what happens. I'm friends with over 100 people in this profession that make $1 million a year or better. Okay? Guess what? All of them to a person talked about the hard years when they were planting the foundation into the stone and nobody could see it and nobody could understand why they were still doing it. Nobody could understand why they were chasing this dream when the results weren't there. Because in a world that tells you to trade time for money, this is not what we do. We don't. We build something of value, and that machine of value will continue to pay you for the rest of your life if you don't lose the faith. So I learned, said, you know what? I'm going to work hard, not only on my business, but on me. I'm going to work way harder than they pay me. I'm not going to even look at the paycheck. I'm going to have faith that the paycheck's going to come if I stay the course, if I stay on track, if I stay on purpose. The moment that changed my life and my business, I will tell you, I was 3 years into network marketing, and I was frustrated. I was blaming. I was looking for shortcuts. I was convinced the big guys weren't telling me the truth. I was looking for angles. I was like an investigative reporter. Oh, that one. No, they got that big leader from that other such and such a company. I see how it is. Okay. Oh, that person, they married that other person who had that other distributorship, and I see. Though that one, though, they were the first person to join in that country. Yeah. I'll bet there's something going on there. Right? I was frustrated. I'm working hard. You can work hard in this business and not be working smart. You can be working hard and be misguided. You can be working hard on the wrong things. I was putting in the time. I was working harder than anybody else I knew, but I wasn't working right. And I went to a conference, the conference before the one that changed my life. I went to this conference, and I was really pushing for this rank. I wanted to get to the rank. Anybody ever said, that next event, I'm going to be at that rank or I'm going to die? Anybody ever said that? Rest of you, give it some time. You will. You will. It's going to happen. So I said, I'm going to make it to the rank. I'm getting in that room of that special group, and I'm going to be in the room. Right? And I almost made it. I was like this close, and I didn't quite make it. I pushed everything in the world to get into that room. Everything you could imagine I pushed. And I didn't make it. So I'm depressed. I'm at the conference. I'm depressed. And they're having a special meeting. With that group. So I decided to go sit in the hall and just watch. So they go in, hugs, kisses. They shut the doors. And I'm sitting out there feeling like an idiot. And then I see a marching band comes up the hallway. Balloons. Like, what the heck is going on? And they burst the doors open, and the marching band comes in. Boom, 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 boom. Balloons, confetti. And they pass out $1 million to the people in that room. Cash. I hated my life. Oh. My mentor at the time, a guy by the name of Mike Nelson. Mike was in the room. And Mike had dinner for us that night. And he was holding court. And he was passing the check around. I was like, I'm so happy for you. And I was seriously depressed. I wanted to quit. And the next conference was coming up 4 months after. And I said, I'm going. But I was really wounded, to be honest. I was wounded emotionally. And I was looking for an excuse to quit. If someone would have just looked at me the wrong way, I was ready to go. I had gone from front row at the convention, yes, taking notes, to middle. It's like, yeah, taking a note. To back. I got it right here. Okay. Watching the parade of recognition, the parade of tears, flowers, oversized checks. I want to thank the team. In the front row, when I was in the front row, that's going to be me. I can see it. In the middle, it's like, yeah, okay. In the back, it's like, when is this going to be over? Can't stand the parade of tears. He's going to cry. 5, 4, 3, 2, 5. You know what I mean? Kill me. So I go to this conference, and the night before, I'm sitting in my hotel room, and I'm watching CNN, and there's an interview with this obscure expert. And I remember thinking, how does a person become an expert at that? I don't even remember what the topic was, but I remember it was so obscure that it's like watching Pawn Stars or Storage Wars or something. You know, they find some ancient sword. Oh, I have an ancient sword guy. He's right down the street. We go talk to the ancient sword guy. Okay? What? All right. So it was like that. And I remember, how does a person become an expert at that? And I remember thinking, well, I suppose they learn everything that they could learn about it. They probably wrote a book about it. They probably interviewed other people about it. They've got experience with it. And eventually, when CNN has a story with that topic, they have to call them. That's the only thing that triggers in my mind, nothing else. So the next day, I'm in the conference with a bad attitude in the back of the room, watching the parade of tears. And something happened to me. And, you know, I don't know where it came from, but it was literally like I get hit by lightning. It was just, bam! It was like an audible click in my head. And I went, wait a minute. What if, like the guy on CNN, what if I decided to be an expert here? What if I decided to become world class here? What if I decided to become the best in this profession when it came to the skills? I'd have to find my way up on stage, wouldn't I? Not just in theory, but in practice. The best there was at finding prospects, the best there was at inviting, the best there was at presenting or following up or getting people to make a decision or getting people started or promoting events. The best at that. What if I just let go of the shortcuts and I just focused on the skills? What if I just did that? So in that moment, I will tell you, my first 3 years in network marketing, the dominant emotion was fear. Fear that I wasn't good enough. Fear that the timing wasn't right. Fear that I was in the wrong team. Fear that I was living in the wrong country. Fear that I was going to miss it. Fear that it was too late. It was too early. I was, I wasn't the right kind of person. Anybody ever thought, maybe it's just not for me? Maybe I'm not built for this. That was my emotional state. Fear, 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 fear. And in that moment when I said, you know what, I'm going to do that, my fear went away just like that. It was gone. And I set apart, that moment I started to do homework. I pulled out my notepad and I started to find the best people I knew that were prospectors, that were good at prospecting, and I started to interview them. I started to find out what they did. I have the best people at inviting. What did they do? How did they overcome objections? The best people in the world at presenting, how did they do it and keep it duplicatable? The best in the world at follow-up, what did they do? And I developed this little playbook, and I went, oh my gosh, what was I doing those last 3 years? Why don't I just do this? And I went home with that confidence that says, you know what, I got this. And it doesn't even matter how long it's going to take. I'm going to be at the top. From that moment forward, I used to be obsessed with every little rank. Guess what I determined at that moment? There are only two ranks in the company: distributor and the highest one they offer. And it's just a matter of how long it's going to take. That's it. The rest are just mile markers. They're not a destination. Don't throw too big of a party for too low of a rank. Seriously. Let go. That's fine. High five. You hit that rank. But that's not where we're going. And once I made the decision, here's what happened. Because before I was filled with fear and I was filled with insecurity and I was filled with doubt, guess what the people around me felt from me? Fear, doubt, insecurity, indecision. I was changing systems every other week. Change new system, new system, new system, new system. The people finally just said, tell me when you've made a decision. It's too much. I went back and I was solid. And then everybody said, there's something different about you. You know where you're going. Absolutely, I do. You want me to show you? Here's my playbook. Let's go. And people started to attract to me really, really quick. And here's what I will tell you. Making the decision is the hardest thing you will ever do. I mean the real decision, the no-joke decision, the unshakable, unstoppable decision. You're going to the top. People are going to find you waving from the top or dead on the side of the road. You're not coming back. I'm talking about a decision, not an option, not a try, not an attempt, a decision. But once you make the decision, it gets pretty easy. That's what's waiting for you on the other side of the decision. Once you take away all your options, your rescue, your side plan B, plan C, plan D. Once you eliminate all those plans, you only have one plan, it gets pretty easy. Our business is very learnable. It's not hard. You can learn it. But until you make a decision, you won't. You want me to prove to you that most of you haven't made a decision even yet in this room? How many hours have you practiced your network marketing skills? I'm not talking about what you're actually doing in front of a prospect. I'm talking about practiced your network marketing skills. How many hours of your life, not how many years you've been in, how many hours total, add them all up, total, have you practiced inviting people? Have you practiced presenting? Have you practiced following up? Have you overcoming objections, answering questions? Have you practiced closing? Have you practiced getting people started? How many hours? Person will invest 16,000 hours of their life in order to become an attorney. Of practice. And there isn't 10 people in this room that have 100 hours of practice in network marketing. Our profession will reward you for minimal effort. But if you decide to be a pro, it doesn't take long. You could become a pro at any one of the 7 skills less than a month. Absolute professional level. Less than a month. Most of you still haven't done it. Most of you won't do it after I talk to you about it right now. You just won't. You can cross your fingers, hope for the best, high five each other. Isn't this great? Yeah, it's great. It's really awesome. Haven't talked to a prospect in a month. I came here fired up. I came here on purpose. I came here to tell you the truth. To tell you the truth. That you're operating at 10% of your potential or less right now. Every one of you in this room. That you have so much more in you if you'll make a decision. So much more. And the change can happen for you so fast you won't even believe it. Once I made that decision after 3 years, guess what? 2 years later, I'm 29 years old. 2.5 years later. 29 years old, I made $980,000 that year. 2 years after making the decision. 2 years. Not 20 years. After struggling for 3.5 years. After having just enough to survive. for that period of time. I totally transformed everything from the decision. Here's what I'm going to tell you, a couple things. First of all, I'm going to tell you that for every one of you, the fact that you're here, I'm super proud of you. The fact that you came from different corners of the world, I'm super proud of you. The fact that you're embracing an evolution of change inside of this organization, I'm super proud of you. I know some of you had to make some serious sacrifices to be here. What I will tell you, first of all, is network marketing isn't perfect. It has its challenges. It's one of the most emotional things you'll ever do in your life. It's so personal. It's so challenging, but it's worth it. It's not perfect. Some days it's messed up, but it's still worth it. It's better. It's better than working for somebody else, please. It's better. It's better than blue-collar work that's going to beat up on your body and you have to go up and down with the economy. It's better than a sales job that only pays you for the sale you made yesterday and will never pay you again for that sale. It's better than starting a traditional business that puts huge risk on you and your family. Massive risk. And you have to have a support system in order to be able to take care of you. You've got a support system to take care of you. All you got to do is bring your passion, for crying out loud. And a few dollars. A few dollars in your passion. What else do you want with what's going on in this world today? Do you know that the world is going through the biggest change in our entire lifetimes? People are shifting all over the world. Guess what's happening? Everybody's being shifted to performance compensation. Everyone. People aren't going to get paid for the hour or for the year anymore. They're going to get paid for the actual results they bring to the organization. People say, I don't want commission only. Well, guess what the whole world's going to end up getting? Commission only. They're going to pay you based upon results. So, but in that world, they put a cap on you too. Here we get paid on results and there's no cap. Come on. There's nothing better than what we do. Number two, if you're going to do it, if you're going to get involved, walk away from being a poser, walk away from being an amateur, and decide to be a professional. For crying out loud. Play at a high level. Number three, like any profession, there's some skills that you need to develop. Okay? You got to develop some. There's only 7. There's 7. None of them would take a year to learn in a college course. None of them. 7. You can learn them part-time. But you need to learn them. The skills will make a place for you. I promise. The skills will make a place for you. They'll build your confidence. They'll build your self-esteem. Think about anything you've ever been confident in your life. Why you're confident is because you have the skills. Forget everything and focus on the skills, because the skills will take care of sales. The skills will take care of growth. The skills will take care of challenges. The skills will take care of distractions. The skills will take care of adversity. The skills will take care of all of that. If you don't have the skills, when those other ugly things show up, guess what happens? Everybody runs for the hills. Number 4. Anything worthwhile takes time. There's something weird about network marketing when people look at it compared to other forms of business. A person will put 16,000 hours into being an attorney. They'll put 18,000 hours into being a doctor. That's normal. Without expecting to ever get paid a penny during that period of time. That's normal. A person will put 10,000 hours as a professional athlete into practice before they become professional athletes. That's normal. But in network marketing, if we don't make a fortune in 90 days, we're suicidal. What the heck is going on? It's so weird. How did that happen? That all of a sudden that's the expectation? Why not a day at a time, a brick at a time, another customer at a time, another auto ship at a time, another product raving fan at a time, another builder at a time? Why not that? And say, guess what? Give us 3 to 5 years. No more of this give us 90 days nonsense. Give us 3 to 5 years of effort and working on your skills, and we'll give you a residual income that will create a future for you. You know what middle class is in the United States? It starts at $26,000 a year. Middle class, are you kidding me? It tops out at $75,000. Average is $50,000 for middle class in the United States of America. Average. You show somebody how to make $1,000 a month, what does that do? It takes them from 50 to 62,000. That 62,000 is enormous lifestyle advantage. So don't downplay 1,000 a month. 1,000 a month will change people's lives. 300 a month will change people's lives. Come on. Put a kid through college when you couldn't have done it before. If they still want to go. I'm just saying. Anything worthwhile takes time. Don't be one of those amateurs that are planting a seed and digging it up every 3 days, saying, where's my crop? Where's my crop? Plant it. Weed the garden around that seed. Fertilize it. Put water on it. Care for it. Tend to it. And when the harvest comes, you'll be able to say, I deserve it because I was here the whole time. Anything worthwhile takes time. Quit looking for the shortcuts because they don't exist. They just don't. And the last thing I will tell you is it's worth it. It's all worth it. This adventure that we're involved in is worth it. Not just for the money. The money's amazing and fantastic, and the quality of the money is different than any other quality of money you'll ever make in your life. $1 million a year, the quality of $200,000 a year in network marketing surpasses $1 million a year in every other form of income in the world today. It does. Because of the quality of money. So the money is great. The lifestyle is amazing. But it's worth it for the person that you're going to have to become in order to be able to succeed in this business. It's worth it for the friendships that you're going to develop, people in this room that you'll never have an excuse to hang around and spend time with. My friends, Bruno, Francisco, my buddies. You know, we ate at El Bulli restaurant in Spain. Are you kidding me? 30 courses. 30! God, what a night. We drove up that magical road to Sintra, up through those incredible enchanted forests, hanging out. I would never have had a chance to do that without network marketing. Have an excuse to hang out and meet and spend time with incredible, unbelievable people. We're connected at the soul forever, right? It's awesome. The causes that you can contribute to, the lives that you get to be able to touch, the health that you can improve in other people's lives, the hope that you can give to other people. You know how many people are desperate out there that are thinking, you know, why am I on this earth? I don't even know why I'm here. They're looking for a purpose. They're looking for a cause. They're looking for a mission. They're looking for somebody to show up and rescue them and show them that there's a better way. And you get a chance to do that. Now, they don't recognize that you're there to save them at the beginning, but that's part of what we do. We rescue people. We show people that we have a better way. The things you're going to be able to see, the experiences you're going to be able to experience, the lives you're going to be able to touch, the fact that in our business, you really get a chance to live forever. And here's what I mean by that. When you invest a little piece of your heart and soul into another human being, and they go out on their way, you now live forever. Because they'll pass that on, and they'll pass that on, and you will touch thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people because of this profession. The fact that you were here, the fact that you made a decision, the fact that you faced your fear, the fact that you decided that you're going to be responsible for your own life. Change everything. So, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for going against the stream. I'm proud of you for putting your face into the wind. I'm proud of you for dealing with it when people quit on you and people no-show you in your business. And I've been there 1,000 times, and I know exactly what it feels like. It's not fun. I'm proud of you for taking the step to be here. I'm proud of you for having the courage to follow your leadership into a better future. I'm really proud of you. So let me close by saying this. You have a gift, but the gift isn't enough. Now you have to do something with it. If you make a decision, if you decide to become the rock in the river, something that is unshakable, unmovable, unstoppable, the world will immediately start to attract to you. The world will take your confidence as their security blanket. They'll put it on and they'll step into a better future because of you. So, ladies and gentlemen, my wish for all of you is that you decide to become network marketing professionals. You decide to go pro, because it is a stone cold fact that we do have a better way. Now let's go tell the world. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend. And I love you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Eric Worre. Y'all make some noise. Go pro or go home, baby. And on that note, please welcome back Vice President of Mynt North America, Katie Holt Larson.
Awesome, guys. How was Eric Worre? Was that nice?